outside-in psychology, three-dimensional observation of the surface of human behavior is misdiagnosing symptoms of narcissistic abuse when it's actually symptoms of self-abandonment. They don't understand that when one person is raging, freaking, and throwing out threats, that's their expression of their reality. It's not about you. Their ego is in shutdown, pushing down vulnerability in the unconscious mind, and the person is becoming that mechanism. It's not about you. Everyone, this famous phrase, the battle is within. Everybody's fighting a battle, but nobody understands it. Well, I've figured it out. The battle is the ego pushing down the unconscious trauma. So when you are seeing somebody, I don't want to, you gotta, that's them becoming their own mental mechanism of self-preservation and acting it out. The body is a puppet of the mind because there's no consciousness, there's no awareness of the program, of the mechanism, of the pain. It's unconsciousness. And a lot of psychology therapists and relationship coaches, therapists for so-called abuse, have no idea of this. So what's actually going on is you're getting people that have been on the other side of this thinking it's all about them because their consciousness has created a much broader sense of self around the whole environment that they live in, that they need to control to stay safe. This was the peacekeeper, I call it fake empathy or performative empathy, the codependent empath that tries to bring peace and safety for themselves as a survival coping strategy by getting everybody to understand each other. That's my little brother, my mom. You know, it's all within the family. Me, my sister, and my dad were the more narcissistic types, but none of us were like mega narcissists. That's my mother's sister. My mother and her sister, those were the polarities, the clearest examples of the narcissist and the empath in my life. So when you get these people that they think that they're the victim of narcissistic abuse, they're unable to differentiate their sense of self, their person, from the other person's self-preservation, which is freaking, screaming, threatening, coercing, gaslighting. I've talked in many videos on Instagram how gaslighting is a mirror to your self-doubt, and the empath controls and manipulates just as much as the so-called narcissistic abuse, control and manipulation, but they're trying to do it to create peace. They're both trying to do it to feel safe. It's a coping strategy. The ego is pretty much the same for all of us, but our ways of using it change. They differ. So where the narcissist will control and manipulate in overt and sort of destructive ways, the codependent empath will do it in covert and patching up and sweeping up ways. It's the same fear and it's the same trauma. No, there's no good guy or bad guy. There's no victim or villain. But what happens is when this dynamic stays too long and polarizes too much, because neither one is taking accountability for themselves, neither one has the power to leave the relationship, because what happens, you now have to face abandonment, you now have to face loneliness, you now have to grieve, and that's why you have this thing called narcissistic supply, because they don't want to grieve. Oh, you're such a terrible person, you don't want to grieve. Oh, narcissist, it's always got the next person lined up. They're petrified, they're traumatized, and so are you, and you're projecting onto them so that you don't have to face the depths of your own hell, your own hole of trauma. And I've been through it for 10 years, and it's hell on earth. It's horrible. And as long as you are not able or ready to face that stuff, or it just simply hasn't presented itself to you, because I didn't plan it, you're going to project all of your pain onto other people. So you need the narcissist. You need to hate them. And you need to believe you're a victim of narcissistic abuse because your own shutdown mechanisms, your own mind screaming at you danger for years in some instances, and you not listening, your mind has shut down. Your warning systems are fatigued. You've ignored yourself for so long, hoping they will change, that you can love them into a better person, auditioning for your self-worth, as they say. But that's your coping strategy. That's the thing that's up for review, that you trying to control the rest of the world doesn't work anymore. That's the narcissist, is the soulmate connection, the mirror to what is holding you back from being an amazing human. An even more amazing human. So you get this initiation. You think, oh, it's love. Oh, they love bomb me. All this crap. All this three-dimensional interpretation of something way beyond your interpretation. It's a human encounter of the mind meeting itself, God meeting itself. And the fusion of two entities, of two bodies, feels like love. There's nothing to do with romance or love or how long you're going to be together. It's the energy of atoms meeting to create a molecule. Have you noticed the name of my business, Global Molecule? We are atoms of the God particle, of the Godness of reality. And when we meet, when we have a new job, a new country, a new car, a new person, it's a similar feeling. It's a bonding. And that means this is going to stay in your life for a period of time, for a journey to show you, to grow, to learn. Doesn't mean you're saved, you're going to have your perfect picnic, romantic, endless orgasm for the rest of your life. Because then every single challenge that comes to you is now a disaster. Because you don't have the tools of conflict management, speaking your truth, taking accountability for yourself. All of these things are shrouded in guilt and shame that you sacrificed as a child. And all the coping strategies that you developed to cover for that. So these are the coping strategies that are being called up for review with your narcissistic mirror to help you see yourself that trying to manipulate this person isn't going to work. Your coping strategies don't work. And you're not listening to your own alarm bells in your own body, the sirens saying, get the hell out of there and look after yourself. But because you endured so much suffering as a child, you think this is what relationships are. Because that's what you saw between your mum and your dad. That's what you developed between you and your siblings and with you and your parents. You're just playing out the same family scenarios, but now with your own possibility of making a family. And the same things you resist in them and resist in yourself. When you have children, you're going to resist them in the children and create more narcissists and codependents. Because you're just polarizing people's survival strategies to navigate impossibly emotionally challenging situations. Nothing wrong with any of these coping strategies. It's survival, it's adaptation, it's pure panic, it's distress, it's horrible. I remember how horrible my childhood was. How scared. Plus all the other extracurricular crap I had to go through with perverted neighbors and evil teachers. Actually evil, you know. They were allowed to beat us. Okay, they're not evil, they're traumatized as well, la la la. I went through hell until the age of 10. And then I went through shame until the age of 20, like pure shame. Wasn't much fun, my life. So I want you to understand that I've transformed these things. I've seen these. I worked tirelessly with my brother to unravel our own relationship so that we can see deeper and deeper and deeper into this. And we're innovating. Well, I'm innovating. I'm fronting it. The truth of the empath's contribution to narcissistic abuse and the sort of, they said there's brain damage associated with it. That's your own shutdown. That's you not listening to yourself. The longer you sit there telling me how terrible somebody is, what they've done, you just show me a whole list of stuff you will suffer and not take care of yourself. That's the crazy bit. It's not about them. It's like, how much more weight can you take on your shoulders before you break and finally realize, actually need to tell someone, I can't carry anymore right now. You're not listening to your own alarm systems because you sacrifice that to survive. As a child, every single time you were rejected for listening to your alarm system, you were punished, ignored, abandoned. So now you don't have that relationship, your intuition, it's broken. So you hear it and you think it's something you need to solve. So now I need to go into this situation and diffuse it. No, that's low vibrational drama. That's suffering. That's killing you. You have to hear the warning signal And then go against all of your survival patterns of what you would do outside and choose yourself and move the hell out. Now, I know it's serious for some of you because there's the risk of violence. There's the risk of being hit, especially for women. But a lot of women love my work. My Instagram channel is 50-50 men and women, and I get a lot of messages from women saying, yes, I'm no longer the victim. Some of you may face the risk of being hit. There is a spiritual, mechanistic, interpretation of what that is, but I'm not going to talk about that this video. Simply breaking out of really, really strong mental software and coping strategies, breaking these agreements in this physical realm can be really bloody difficult and scary. It's scary enough without the risk of violence. I've been in a violent relationship. I've had a broken nose, kicked in the nuts, smashed window in the van. I've been through hell. I know what it looks like. So I ask you simply, if it's a hit or 10 more years of hell, what would you choose? It sounds horrible because people are saying, well, I don't deserve this. I'm afraid of this. If you're so afraid of being hit, disappear so quickly and so far that nobody will ever know. But just go. But if you want to stay, you can threaten with police. You can do all of these things. I would rather be hit once. I've been hit by men and not retaliated. And just looked at them and said, I'm not going to fight back. I'm done. Are you done? And they walked off. For women, it's scarier. But if you have the choice between being hit once or twice or staying 10 more years in hell lying to yourself, I would definitely choose being hit, because that heals and we move on and we become warriors, we become leaders, we become teachers. I've got scars all over the place from accidents. I've healed from them all. And now I'm standing in front of you, or sitting in front of you, sharing a truth that this reality can be brutal, can be really challenging. But you're stronger than all of that. You're courageous. You're more courageous than all of that. You just need to remember who you really are, which is able to connect to this body-mind relationship, connection. Even though the ego thinks what you're doing is against your survival because it's protecting all the stuff you developed to survive. But that's the stuff that's creating all the hell in your life now. So you have to go against the ego's automatic self-preservation mechanisms and choose what's on the other side of your fear, which is your voice, your courage, your action, your ability to listen to yourself and act in your own best interests. Sounds easy on paper. It's bloody hard in person, I know. 15 years of toxic relationships and transformation that I'm sharing with you. I mean, I've been transforming for longer than that. But my first toxic relationship started in end of 2009, around my birthday. Nice gift. Well, actually it was. Because now I am who I am thanks to that. So, God bless you all. It's the hardest work in the world to face the self, to go through the ego's defenses and to unravel the trauma and sit with it and hold it and grieve it for years and years and years. It really is. There's nothing else on the planet that's tougher than that. So good luck. Find yourself using your mirrors, interpreting your external world to see what it is you need to see about yourself, to take accountability for yourself, to break old agreements in beautiful ways, regardless of how they react. It's your job to honor yourself and see yourself and take accountability for yourself. Like I said, it's hard, but I know you can do it. That's why you're watching this video. Go get 'em.